People caught in the middle as tension builds between Poland and Belarus. On the Belarus side of the border, hundreds of migrants are camped out in the freezing cold, watched over by Polish police and soldiers across the barbed wire.
Hi guys, you're welcome to the Dixon's View. Poland had continued to take security measures to ensure that our borders is not as porous as other countries around Europe. It has continued to maintain and establish other checkpoints around its neighboring countries so as to be sure of the kind of persons passing through its borders into its country. Let's watch this video together.
What we're saying is send them back. Okay? Simple as that. Poland is the only country in the European Union which we haven't had even one terrorist attack. We don't have stabbings, we don't have rapes, we don't have all these really dangerous behaviors from migrants, illegal migrants. So our policy is very straight, zero tolerance. We built a beautiful wall on our border with Belarus, and there's no way anyone would enter Poland. When you see the data from Eurostat, not ours, from European Union, Poland is the safest country in Europe.
Hundreds of migrants are stuck at the border between Belarus and Poland are to spend another cold night without shelter amid a bitter standoff between the two sides. Belarus says it will not stop migrants trying to cross its borders into EU territory, but EU member Poland is refusing to let the migrants in and has warned of an armed escalation if the situation continues.
People caught in the middle as tension builds between Poland and Belarus. On the Belarus side of the border, hundreds of migrants are camped out in the freezing cold, watched over by Polish police and soldiers across the barbed wire. Poland's Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki visited troops massed along the border. He said Belarus was using the migrants as, quote, live shields in a new kind of hybrid warfare. Poland has closed an official border crossing from Belarus. In a tweet, Morawiecki said, "Today the stability and security of the entire EU is at stake. This hybrid attack of Lukashenko's regime is aimed at all of us. We will not be intimidated and we will defend peace in Europe with our partners from NATO and the EU." The EU accuses Belarus of flying migrants into Minsk, then helping them get to the borders with its EU neighbours in an effort to destabilise the bloc. Belarus denies this, blaming Poland for escalating the crisis and using excessive force to push back migrants. Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko says he does not want an armed confrontation, but nor will he back down. "We know our place, but we will not kneel." Poland has declared a state of emergency along the border. Journalists and humanitarian groups are barred from the area. On the other side, only Belarus state-aligned media has access. The migrants have mainly come from the Middle East, many fleeing war or poverty. They want to head further west for a better future in Europe. Human rights activists say food and medicine are in short supply and temperatures are dipping below freezing, a humanitarian crisis unfolding as the threat of conflict rises.
Well, DW correspondent Marina Strauss is reporting from just outside Poland's border exclusion zone from which independent journalists are banned.
Here it seems very quiet, but of course we don't really know what's going on inside the exclusion zone and what's going on at the border because we cannot verify what's happening. There is a Belarusian journalist, an independent one, who's tweeting relatively often, who has been tweeting during the day, and he says that it's relatively calm at the border. We've seen the pictures of the tens of thousands of migrants camping at the border. We also know that there are migrants in the woods here at the Polish side. It's freezing cold. I'm wearing the three kinds of jackets. I imagine that it must be really hard to stick out here during the night right now.
Right. Give us a sense of the mood there, Marina.
Polish people are a bit split. Some say yes, of course we have to protect the Polish border, which is also the EU's external border. So we cannot let everyone in here, and we cannot also bow to the pressure of the Lukashenko of Belarus, who sends the migrants here to our country. But there are also, of course, a lot of Polish people who say, we have to do something about this. We cannot leave the like women, children, young people in the cold and just not act. And here in the region, there are also many people who help migrants and refugees.
All right, thank you for that, Marina Strauss, near the border between Poland and Belarus. Well, DW correspondent Terry Schultz in Brussels says Poland's president has been speaking with NATO about this tense situation.
This is not a situation that NATO would physically get involved in. The Secretary General sends out regular messages of support for Poland, Latvia and Lithuania, all of which are NATO members. But just today, the Polish president called NATO Chief Stoltenberg to basically give him an update on the situation, on the escalation, and to warn him that, be ready, because if this doesn't simmer down, then this could be a problem for you, for NATO. And Poland is asking some specific things of NATO, in addition to expecting the same of the European Union, and that is that NATO uses its contacts in the Middle East, in some of these governments, in Iraq, in Qatar, in the UAE, to say the same thing that the European Union is going to say, and that is stop the flights. Because Poland very much sees the flights as the problem. If you stop these people from getting on a plane, you stop the possibility that they get to the EU border, and you take that tool out of the hands of the Lukashenko regime. So NATO is being asked to use its diplomatic contacts in the same way that the European Union is. So very much wanting soft power used so that it will never come to hard power. There is a final possibility for Poland, and that is that it can call what are called Article 4 consultations.
So you can now see the efforts Poland is actually putting to have a safe country, to really show the proof that indeed they are a sovereign nation, and as such they have all legitimate right to protect their borders and their citizens against every form of external aggression or illegal migration into their territory. Because if Poland is not taking these measures to protect its territorial integrity, with the way these illegal migrants are trying to move from Belarus into Poland, then once they cross into Poland, they will, move into different directions. As it is going, if other countries do not take similar actions to protect their territory, there will be influx of potential terrorists that will definitely destabilize their country. These are our thoughts on this video, and we would love to know what are your thoughts as well in the comment section. See you in our next video.